my inspirational tea sippers. This is Shantara, and I'm coming back to you guys with another video. So this video is going to be a story time. I hope you guys are well. You know, I always say that, and I really do mean it. And I want you guys to know that I really, honestly, literally pray over my YouTube channel, and I literally, honestly pray for all my subscribers. Like, Lord, you know what they're going through. Like, I pray for you guys. Like, seriously, like, this walk is not easy. This world is something else. So I always pray you guys' strength in the Lord. I always pray that the Lord intervenes and just show you his face. Like, I seriously, honestly pray for you guys. Like, really, I love you guys, and I appreciate you even subscribing and watching and listening to what I have to say, because I pray to God that it ministers to you. I pray to God that you laugh, that you feel good. And even looking back on my videos, my voice makes my skin crawl, but I do it anyway because I know that this is what I'm called to do, and I know that I'm going to grow and get better and more comfortable. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera yet. I just do it just because I'm working on 100% obedience, but I just do it just because I know that there are many, many women and men that are called to this channel to hear, you know, my testimony, my background, my story, my history. And there is so much for me to get into, you guys. I'm slowly, easy, you know, gonna get into it, because some people say you don't have to tell your business, and you know, some people do feel that way, but I don't feel that way. I feel like this is my life. The Lord knows everything. I talk to him and go to him about everything, and I want to be open and honest and transparent in everything. Even if it's some things that you guys don't agree with, even if it's things that you would never do, even if it's things that you have never said, or, you know, it doesn't matter, because I want to be the one to open up and say those things, because I'm not ashamed of anything that I've ever done. I have regrets. Yes, a lot of things that I did in the past, with the knowledge that and the wisdom that I have now, no, I would not have done those things. But in the same breath, it has made me to be who I am today. And so without those experiences, without trial and error, without those mistakes, without, you know, falling on my face and having the Lord pick me up, I would not be who I am today. And if I had to do it all over again, I would. So anyways, I just want to tell a quick story time. Tomorrow is Friday, and I like to put my story times out on a weekend, just because, you know, that's probably, well, for me too, about the more time I'm kind of on my phone, YouTube, and looking, you know, browsing. So I want you guys to at least have some story times to watch during the weekend. So this is going to be a story time about the time where me and my sisters plotted, like, okay, we are about to have a boy call the house just to see. Okay, backstory on my mother. Lord rest her soul. She was an amazing mother, but she was very, very strict, and she did not play any games, which is probably why all of her children are successful. Well, yeah, I would say successful. Nobody's on drugs or anything like that. We all work, have our own place. You know, we all take care of our kids, and, you know, just we're good women. Like, she did her thing. She was strict. So we couldn't spend a night at nobody's house. We couldn't, I know the reason why is because she was molested at a younger age. So she didn't play around. Being that it was all girls, oh yeah, y'all. And I'm drinking my Yogi Detox tea. Look at this cute cup I got from the $1.99 only store. It says, oh, what fun. Ain't that a cute cup? And I'm drinking Yogi tea. It's a detox tea and a smooth move tea. It says, what does it say? I don't know, I'm getting off track, but it says, love yourself so that you may know how to live with self-respect. Ain't that so good? Love yourself so that you can know how to live with self-respect. And it's chilly. It's like 30 something degrees. Having my tea, I don't put anything in it. The baby. Right when I'm trying to get into my good story. Let me go check on him and I'll be back. Okay, y'all. I'm back. Do you know this boy got out of my bed and went in there and got in the bed with his sister? Like, he loves them so, so much. He'll get out of my bed and go inside his sister's room and like hop in the bed with Deanna. But anyways, like I was saying, love yourself so that you may know, what did it say? So that you may know how to live with self-respect. That's so good to me. And I am on a journey of completely loving myself. I'm not all the way there yet, if I'm honest, but I am working on it. There are some things that I would like to see in myself as far as my weight loss journey, and just some things, self-conscious things that but I really believe that when you love yourself, truly, truly love yourself, take the time out to separate from, friends, family, get by yourself, get with the Lord so that he can show you who you really are and who he created you to be. That, self-respect, there's a lot of things that you wouldn't tolerate. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't accept. There are a lot of things that you wouldn't even, you'd be like, no, if you really, really, truly loved yourself. And a lot of times we accept things and we deal with things that we know we deserve better is because we don't really, truly love ourselves. We can say what we want, but we don't. There's no way, if you loved yourself the way that God loved you, and if you saw yourself the way that God saw you, there are some things right now in your life that you would drop right now at the drop of a dime. And that's just the truth. But it takes time. So my hope and prayer for you, and this is all over the place, I'm just going. My hope and prayer for you is that we begin to learn to love ourselves just as we are, see ourselves how God sees us, so that we demand nothing but God's best. So anyways, blah, 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 blah. That was good to learn to live with self-respect, because that's big. You wouldn't tolerate it. You wouldn't put up with it. Self-respect, because you love yourself. And, you loving yourself teaches other people how to treat you. So, that's really, really good. Okay, y'all. So, Mama was so strict. Like, she didn't get down. If we wanted company, they would have to come over. We can meet your mom, but you guys are not going over there. You're not going to go spend a night, whatever. I had a best friend at the time. The only house I could go to was my best friend, Jerry. That is it. She knew her mom and her brothers and all that, and they loved me like I was one of their children. So going over her house was never a problem. It was only that one house that I could go to, but anybody else, nope, couldn't go. So this particular day, like, okay, we're 7th grade. My youngest, not my youngest sister, but it was me and my sister that's up under me. So me and Shanice. So Shanice is in the 7th grade and I'm in the 8th grade. So our mom is strict, so we don't have boyfriends. We like boys, of course. We starting to get the feeling for boys or whatever, talking to them at school, whatnot. Fine. I even tell my daughter, I know at this age you're starting to look at boys or whatever, but you must know that you cannot have a boyfriend. You cannot date. We're not even getting into that until you get in high school. And once we get to 9th grade, we'll evaluate and see where you are as far as maturity level, and then we'll discuss where we go from there. So it all depends on her. But my mama was like, boop, nope, you're not doing nothing. You can't do this. You can't do that. I said this, I meant that, F this, F that. I'm the boss. This is what I say. What I say, go. Doesn't matter. Don't ask the question. This is what it is. She was that type of mom. And sometimes I would be like, okay, but why? And she don't ask it. And I wanted to know, like, why? Okay, if you're saying this, like, give me an explanation behind it. But that was neither here or there. I said what I said, period, point blank. So we me and Shanice, we talking like, okay, she like a boy at school and I'm already liking somebody. I think he was in the 9th or 10th grade, I think. Bobby. So the person that I was talking to was Bobby, and the person that she was talking to, I forget. I think it was, I don't know, but it had to have been somebody from school. So we like, okay, we tired of this. We don't want to be beating around the bush. We want to be able to have boys call the house. So we like, okay, boom. So we come up with this plan, like, We in a room talking and we're like, okay, well, what's she gonna do? The worst she can do is like whoop us, or the worst she can do is tell him not to call here no more. But let's give him the number and call to see what she would say, because we were scared to talk to her about boys. Like, and that's one thing about me and how I'm raising my kids. There are a lot of things that, or a lot of ways that she had when raising us that I don't want to display with my kids, because I don't want my kids to be so scared that they're scared to come to talk to me. No, I might not agree with everything you say. I'm going to give you my reasons as to why. I'm going to tell you why I feel this way, give you my experiences, and we'll go from there. But I do want to be open enough for them to come and talk to me. So we in the room like, okay, well, you know, what's the worst that can happen? She can tell him no or whatever. So we just gonna do it. So Shanice was like, I'm gonna do it. You know, I really like this boy. You know, I just want to see what she gonna say or whatever. And I'm gonna give him the number. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I'm like, okay, if you give him the number and he call, and then the next day, depending on what happens with you, then I'll decide to give Bobby the number, right? And so she like, okay, it's nothing, whatever. She was, at this point, she was just like, look, we like boys, you know, I don't think it's nothing wrong for them to call a house. And I'm just like, ooh, but you know how mama is. You're nuts, but I agree with you to a certain point. I'm in, but I'm really not in. So I'm scared, whatever, however it's gonna go. So we're like, okay, so go to school the next day. Usually when we came home, mama was there. She was there to do homework. We did chores and all this. And that's another thing too. My kids don't do chores on a weekday when they got school. School is already hard enough. For me, school was stressful. I was getting bullied. Math was horrible. And peers and all this stuff going on, school was hard. So for me, during the weekday and stuff like that, as long as they pick up and clean up after themselves, they don't really have to clean up and do chores. We do that stuff on the weekend. On the weekend, once we get up, we do chores. Everybody, even I help. We get up, we do chores, get the house together, and then we chill, relax, or do whatever we're doing for the weekend. But chores and all that stuff every day, I don't even stress it, because school is enough. Like, really? Okay. Anyway, so I'm like, okay. So we go to school the next day. She's like, what? I'm going to do it. Whatever. We'll just deal with it or whatever. So I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to watch you. But then we're going to see how I roll. But so we get to school. She's talking to the boy. And it wasn't really nothing. It was just like, you know, like the little puppy love, whatever, talking back and forth. So I'm looking to see if I hear pitter patter to see if the baby coming around the corner. She gives him the number, right? So we go home. He like, yeah, I'm gonna call you after school, whatever. So we are like on pins and needles. We get home, we start doing our homework, we eat, we get our chores done, and we are literally like silent. We're not even talking to each other. We're just like, oh my goodness. And every time the phone rings, it's just like, you know, the phone rings, hello, oh, one of her friends or something like that, or hello, Shantera, oh, and it was Trinisha on the line or something like that, and I was just like, okay. We were just like, when is this phone gonna ring? And when it rings, when it's this boy, what in the world is gonna happen in this house? So I'm just like, ugh. So we looking at each other, and we just kind of like nervous, and we upstairs, and we just kind of like, oh my goodness, like just waiting for whatever to happen. So I think it's like about maybe 7 o'clock, maybe about 6, probably like 6, 5:36. It's like we knew at that moment, like, oh, I really don't know who the guy's name was, but so we like literally, and my heart is like deep in my gut. I'm just like, hello? And as he said, Shanice there. Who is this? Then he say his name or whatever. I'm gonna just say Jim. This is Jim. Jim, you go to, what school do you go to? Jim, I went to Kern. I go to Kern. You go to Kern? Yes. What are your grades like? And so he telling her what his grades are like. Do you go to school every day? Yeah. Are you respectful to your mother? Whatever he's saying. Whatever. And she like, so you like my daughter? Like, who are you calling for? What do you want with her? And I don't know what he said or whatever. And she go, hold on. And then she go, Shanice. And then she, huh? Girl, boo, you already know what's going on. Huh? Come get the phone. It's popping. Okay. So she go down there and get the phone. They talking or whatever, and she on her little conversation, mama right there, and talking or whatever. So she hangs up the phone or whatever, and then here comes the speech. So, who came up with this concoction to have a boy call the house, and what you was too scared to talk to me and let me know what was going on, and you can't talk to me? And I'm thinking, heck no, we can't talk to you. You yell, scream, cussing, fussing, like, we can't come and talk to you. We're too scared to come and talk to you. We probably could, but we were just too scared to talk to her because it was always, I said, this is why. It was never anything else. So we were just like, just too scared to talk to her. And so she said, hey, well, you should have came to me and let me know something. And I could have sat down and talked to you. And but they don't need to be scared of this, that, this, and that. So next day, I'm like, okay, cool. So I goes and give Bobby the number. Like, okay, yeah, you can call. So waiting the next day, and we waiting around like, okay, is he gonna call? And he had like a deeper voice because he was in like I was in the 8th. I think he was in the 10th. So he was like 2 years older than me. And so I'm waiting, and then he called. I just knew. And then she was like, be off the phone by 8 o'clock and make sure homework and stuff is done. So there was like rules, regulations, and all that stuff set up around us talking on the phone to these boys. And you can't have multiple guys. Another thing was you can't have multiple guys calling the house. If you have one particular guy calling the house, that was it. There is no, different boys calling and all that. You're not supposed to be going through different boys and having them there. No, wasn't none of that. She wasn't playing it at all. This is who you're talking to. This is who you're talking to, and what you're done with him, that's on you. So it just, she did not play that. Ain't no skipping, hopping around and thinking you're laying around and thinking you're dating around. And no, this is just what it is. You're talking on the phone, this, that, and that's all you're going to be doing. So when it comes to my turn the next day, he calls and she, hello. And like, is Shantara there or whatever? And then she like, who is this? And he was like, Bobby. And then so she asked him all these questions. How old are you? What school you go to? What are your grades like? Are you respectful to your parents? What do you want with my daughter? What's your, like, what's your motive? Like, what is the point? Why are you, And so she was talking to him and stuff for a while. She's, Shantara, come get the phone. So we talking and all that, get off the phone. And she's like, and you was up to the same thing, and that was kind of she went off, whatever. This is what, and then she laid down all the rules or whatever. This is somebody like, but she liked him. He was a pretty good guy. Like, of course, he was a cheater and all that stuff, but that all came later. And I got to get into all those story times. He was a cheater, dealing drugs, all that. Whatever, because I didn't love myself because of all what I had been through in my life after my mom passed away. So that explains a lot. But yeah, here's the ground rules or whatever. So ever since then, like, we were able to have boys call the house or have a boy call the house, you know, for us. And, you know, she was really, really cool about it. And then it made us think like, dang, we should have talked to her, you know, early on and just let her know how we were feeling and all that. But when a person only sees one side of you so much, they kind of walk on eggshells and they're kind of scared to say something because they don't know how you're going to react. And that's how it was with her. So I try not to be that way with my kids because I want them to be open and honest with me, even if I disagree. Like, we still have to talk about this stuff and we still have to get through this together. So please, please, please come to me is what I tell my kids. Please come to me no matter how you think I'm going to feel. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very, very important. So that's what happened. So from then on, she had her little crush calling and I had my little crush calling, and we dated all the way up until he passed away. So that was my first love. So it was great. It was cool. But that was the time that we came up with this plan that we were going to decide on how we were going to have boys call the house because mama was so strict. But we did that. It worked out well. Nobody got a whooping. You know, we just had our little lectures or whatnot and all that stuff. So that's the way it happened, and that was that. So my nieces and stuff watch and all of that. And I just want to say, for young girls or young ladies, go out on a limb. Talk to your parents. If you cannot talk to your parents, we have someone down the street who was a friend of the family. Her name was Sabrina, and we went and we talked to her about a lot of stuff that we couldn't talk to our mom about. So I would say find someone that you trust, that you can open up to and talk to, so that you don't have to bear that stuff alone. Because as kids, we go through a lot. People don't think, y'all ain't paying no bills, you don't work, you ain't got your own place, you can't be going through nothing. Yes, kids go through a lot. They're peer, you know, different things going on. You're on your cycle. There's a lot of different talk going on around you. They're hearing different things. They're watching different things. And so they're trying to, you know, figure out what side they want to be on, where they want to go, how they want to stand, if you want to be a follower, if you want to be a leader, how in this whole world. So there is a lot going on. And I know that for a fact because I was a kid. So I would say talk to your parents, even if you think they'll disagree with what you have to say. The conversation needs to be open. I don't think we have enough taboo conversations today, which is why a lot of things tend to spiral out of control, because we're scared to have these conversations. And we need to open up to our kids, hear their side, hear their thoughts, you know, and of course, tell them how we feel and let them know what's going on and chastise them and pull out the rod when necessary, because at the end of the day, even though you feel a certain way, there are still rules and regulations that you have to follow. That's just life. But I do hear your point, and, you know, try to come up with some different situations, scenarios, and, you know, just being more open and honest. So that is very, very, very important. We need that in our households with our children. They are going through so much. They are so precious. They are so wonderful, and such a gift from God. Pray over your kids. Love your kids. Listen to your kids. Be understanding to a certain point, you know, because we were there. And just ask the Lord to lead you and guide you and show you how to be a parent. I ask him every single day. So that is my story time, you guys. I pray that you guys have a good night. Thank you for having me. Until the next time, inspire, be inspired. I love you guys. God bless you. Good night.